So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So I'm back from my trip, I'm safely home, I had a good time, I've taken it easy, but now it's back to the regularly scheduled OPTC content, and I'm finally going to be reacting to our new 6 Plus. I guess react is the wrong word, he's been known for like a day. I've already been talking a lot about him on Discord with other people and such, so I have a pretty set opinion. I'm thinking about talking about Kisna Batch at another time, because I'm pretty excited for that one too, even if I'm not pulling, because it's no pull April for me. But yeah, should probably load this before starting the video, but whatever. As you know, our 6 Plus is Barto and Cavendish. And I just want to say that so far, every single 6 Plus we've gotten that has been a duo unit has been a great upgrade. Everybody agrees with 6 Plus Cat Dog. Some don't think so with Shank's Crew, but I definitely think Shank's Crew got a really good buff. And it was a way better unit than the others from the start, so they didn't need as many buffs. And Barto and Cavendish, or well, Barto and Hakuba now, I guess, also got a great buff. We can look at the pre-evo first, maybe? Can you do that here? No? But let's start with that. We can come back to this later. Start with Barto and Cavendish. There they are. But yeah, Barto and Cavendish in 6-star form, Driven Slasher. In duo form, Barto in single form is Driven Striker Dex. And Cavendish is Driven Slasher. And yeah, so you have 3 different classes to play around with basically, and 2 colors, Dex and Quick. Captain ability of the past, 4.25 times attack for Driven, Strength, Quick, Dex matching, and 25% damage reduction. Obviously not the best. As for the special, damage to all enemies, damage threshold reduction, 5000 damage, and you don't reduce damage, you take less damage. It's a threshold buff basically. Boost attack for Driven by 2.25 times for 1 turn and becomes dual form for 3 turns. So it doesn't do a lot with the special attack boost, reducing damage, and that's basically it. Their switch. In the past, they got a matching orb, 1.5 times orb boost, 5% heal, and 5% damage reduction. And this has been a great swap to this day, like if you need to stall. Barto and Cavendish have seen less use because the rest of their kit is bad, but this is still very solid. So obviously not a unit you see used at all nowadays. Can take a look at the Rumble staff as well from before. Driven, Death up level 3, Self attack up level 8. And their special does some damage, and guard up, attack up. Yes, can have that as reference for later. But with that out of the way, let's look at the actual 6 Plus. Yep, and a lot of the things are the same. The classes are the same, both in the different forms. Barto is still Driven Striker, Cavendish is Driven Slasher. I wish they made Cavendish like Cerebral Slasher, but it is what it is. But everything is the same. Can start with the Captain ability. Now it's 5 times attack. This should be a lot higher. I don't know why they don't show the maximum potential of the unit. That's actually pretty annoying. Maybe we can check that here. No. Oh, it's because I had to time travel. Didn't realize that. Basically, you have to go forward in time until the unit is released to see everything. But I've already started recording, so we're not going to do that. But from my knowledge, in the buffed level limit break form, Barto and Cavendish gets like 5.25 times attack. They also make recovery and tandem matching, 30% damage reduction, and Barto and Cavendish also gets the versus Yamato effect of giving a damage reduction attack boost, and it also says that it needs to be from a special. So this is only for the duo forms. If you're in the duo form for Barto and Cavendish and use a special to give damage reduction, you will get the icon with the damage reduction attack boost. We'll get into later how this will work in practice. But first, the special. Damage threshold removal. Lots of damage. The damage threshold is buffed a bit. Driven characters gets boosted 2.5 times attack for 1 turn, so that's also a higher value. If you have an ore boost when specialist launched, buff the ore boost by plus 0.25 and you become duo form for 3 turns. And yeah, the ore boost thing is to coincide with Barto and Cavendish super swap, which you're going to take a look at. But yeah, they added some utility in the damage threshold removal, which helps. Otherwise, it's just same as before, but better. Sailors is kind of important to remember this one, I feel like, that they get some extra damage when hitting Lost, as a sailor that is. Switch, normal switch is the same as before. No, it's a 2-time more boost now instead of 1.5, so that's a big difference actually, but otherwise it's the same. As for the super switch, Driven gets a full board of matching orbs, so that's really cool since they are mono driven. Driven carriage gets a 2-time orb boost for 1 turn, and you get a 10% heal as well, and 50% damage reduction. So I want to address one more thing that isn't added here, that it gets added with level limit break in the special. It's that if you take enough damage, like 30,000 damage, you also get a color affinity boost for Driven. So basically it's set up so that Barto and Cavendish can do attack boost for Driven, or boost for Driven with super swap, color affinity if you've taken damage, and also you have the ability to get the damage reduction attack boost. So let's talk about how they want you to use Barto and Cavendish, because obviously Barto and Cavendish is designed around the idea of offense with Hakuba and defense with Barto. And we've gone through the offense, like you can get the attack boost or boost color affinity, potentially damage reduction attack boost. But we also have a lot of defense with the swap. Barto Captain also gets that 30% damage reduction, so you can take hits easily. So the idea is that you stall, while you stall, you swap, you heal by swapping, you reduce damage. If you have Barto Captain, you can get even more damage reduction. And then you set up for the super swap, and by that time you should have taken enough damage to get the color affinity, so around 30k damage. And then when you get to say final stage and you want to get maximum damage, use super swap, get a 2 times orb boost for Driven, full board of matching orb for Driven. Use the special, the orb boost is buffed to 2.25 times, you get the attack boost, you get the color affinity buff if you take enough damage. And obviously by super swapping, you get the 50% damage reduction. This means that you have the potential to get a 1.5 times damage reduction attack boost. But as said, it doesn't say it here, but in order to get the damage reduction attack boost applied, you need another unit to use a special that gives damage reduction, which might sound like a problem, but I want you to remember that stuff like this will only be needed when you really want to min-max damage. Otherwise, attack or color affinity is enough. And if you want to min-max damage for Driven, one unit you would obviously use is the Kizuna Perospero to get his big chain boundary. And like for him, he also gives a damage reduction, so by using his special after you've done the Barto and Cavendish stuff, you activate that damage reduction attack boost. But another thing you could do if you really want to get even more damage, since let's say you do a mono-driven team for like Super Boss, like Perspero is like mandatory, I'd say, for that team. You use Perspero first, then you get his big damage reduction. It's also 95% damage reduction. That's a potential 1.95 times extra attack boost. Then you do the Barto and Cavendish stuff, get them in duo form, and then you have a second unit that can also do some form of damage reduction. And then that will activate the damage reduction attack boost. So a bit convoluted, but I want to say that even having such a modern mechanic at all for a new 6+ is amazing. And I think it's even more amazing when it makes so much sense for this particular unit, with Cavendish being offense, Barto being defense, and we have the damage reduction attack boost that combines both of them. So Bandai made a great job here, but I want to say that it might not be the most fitting for modern content, since defense basically don't exist outside of like Grand Voyage, and sadly we don't really have a Grand Voyage where any of these are that great. I think the only level 5 they could potentially do is Morgan 5, but of course I don't think that Driven team works. Like maybe with Sorrow, I would definitely try, but otherwise I'm looking forward to have some level 3 fun with them in the Grand Voyage. But they also have a good foundation for the future if you do indeed get some content that fits them. And other than that, like even using them normally should be pretty decent, but in that sense not as good as the other 6+, since it's a bit harder to get, say, the color affinity buff, for example. But yeah, I love what they did with them, like the best possible buff they could have get. Except one thing more to say is that I would love it if they had a slasher to this as well. Would have been fun, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Can look at PvP a bit as well. Bigger change here is that it's also slasher buffs now, not just driven, which brings me back to my old point: why can they add slasher to PvP but not PvE, the normal content? I don't know, but obviously that's great, and they could actually fit really good into slashers. They do more damage now with level limit break. I think it's 3.2 times damage. You also have some guard up and attack up, driven and slasher, so pretty good. Might see some use on driven team, but I think people are most excited to try them out on slasher teams, which are really good in general now, and they add even more defense and still do some good damage and support the team in the offense as well. I think they should have done a little bit more on their ability, maybe a bit higher defense, maybe some HP as well, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.